But you know, our police and our first responders are under assault in America. Let's take a moment and tell them how much we appreciate everything they do. You know, it's an honor for us to all have the ability to go out and to vote for the citizen that we think will best lead our country. But we can't do it without the protection of law and order and the rule of law, and they protect us every day. I want to tell you just a couple of minutes why I'm voting for Donald Trump. And it comes down to some simple things. First of all, 3 United States Supreme Court justices. If you're a gun owner, there was a case a few years ago called McDonald versus Chicago. It was decided by the United States Supreme Court by a 5-4 decision, with Justice Antonin Scalia being one of the 5 in the majority opinion. That affirmed your right as a citizen to keep and bear arms. If you value your gun rights, you will vote for Donald Trump. There was a court case just a few months ago to uphold Barack Obama's lawless executive order on immigration amnesty. That's right, it was deadlocked 4-4, but it upheld a lower court ruling that ruled the president's actions unconstitutional. If you support the rule of law, you'll vote for Donald Trump for president. Barack Obama has been the great divider in this country. On race relations, I'd like to quote the president himself. As he once said, he acted stupidly. You watched their convention last night. It was a dumpster fire. But let me tell you something. Make no mistake, they profit politically from division in America. They like to divide us by race. They like to divide us by religion, by age, by sex, by every other possible way they can. Democrats don't win politically when Americans are united, not if they're united, not if they're African Americans or Anglo Americans or Mexican Americans, but if they're Americans, they don't win politically. That great word we're all so proud of, Americans. That's right. Now, the other reason I'm supporting Donald Trump is he'll end the silly and destructive political correctness that is eating away at our First Amendment. And a culture of political correctness comes from the top. You know, we were welcomed here by UCCS and the great people who are here. But I understand there's a few professors here who didn't want Donald Trump to be here and speak. Now, I assume they'd be okay if Hillary Clinton was here to speak, but they don't want your voice heard. What in the world has happened to America that we can't listen to our neighbor tell us their opinion without being offended? It's crazy. And when you can't say the name of our enemy, radical Islamic terrorists, you can't win a war and you diminish our freedom. And Trump, more than any figure in America today, has attacked political correctness like nobody else. And I'm proud of him for that. Political correctness is corrosive to our First Amendment. No more safe zones, no more coddling people at the expense of free speech rights. Let's be Americans again who aren't afraid to discuss the truth We aren't afraid to have political discussions, and we aren't afraid to disagree. That's the way our founders want it. Let's be proud of who we are as Americans, and let's make America great again. Now, let me tell you, it's my high honor to introduce an American hero to you. Mark Geist joined the United States Marine Corps in 1984. He served in intelligence and specialized in interrogation translation. He attended language school where he studied Persian Farsi. In 2004, Mr. Geist began doing contract security work in Iraq. He worked for Triple Canopy, providing personal security details for Department of State personnel in Iraq. Upon the completion of that contract, he worked for USIS, the United States Investigative Services, training Iraqi SWAT teams in personal security details. Mark Oz Geist is a member of the Annex security team that fought the Battle of Benghazi, Libya, from September 11th to September 12th, 2012. While in Benghazi, Mark was credited with helping to save the lives of more than 25 Americans. He's a co-author of the best-selling book, 13 Hours, the inside account of what really happened in Benghazi. Please welcome a great American hero, Mark Geist.